We live, baby. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. We're here to talk about it, like we do normally. Waiting for people to join, and then we can get right into it. We gotta talk about Jeff Horn, some shenanigans. Look at my thoughts, just my thoughts. Young, yo ho ho, gang gang, Ego Army in the building, Ego Mafia. I told you we are the mob. Money on top of boxing. Believe that, like a true story. Jeff Horn's team scared of losing. We're gonna get into it. It's definitely something. Watching at work with my boss, LOL. Shout out to your boss, man. Shout out to work. Shout out to boxing, new media. We in this thing. We just working, people. Now listen, let's do a roll call. I'd like to see where y'all at, where y'all from, and then we'll get right into it. What's up from Google and Sunnyvale? Shout out to Google. I was just on the Google website. DC via South Carolina. Fort Collins, Colorado. Shout out to Raul. Dallas. See, Texas always in here. Knoxville, Tennessee. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Denmark, Chicago, Houston, CPT, Hub City, Cali, my home state, Leesburg, Florida, Dallas. Where y'all at? Yo, where y'all at? Redwood City, just joined. Baltimore, they just joined. Yeah, they just joined. Los Gatos, San Bernardino, Orlando, Florida, Tacoma, California. Yo, what up, though? Guatemala, Puerto Rico. Shout out to Puerto Rico and Houston as they rebuild from the inclement weather in the hurricane season. London, Northeast LA, Avenues 43rd. Damn, he put the whole, he was really banging for where he from. Shout out to Northeast LA, Brooklyn, Indiana, Detroit. Hey, speaking of Detroit, who heard that new Eminem revival? What's that sounding like? Shout out to Wales, Cardiff, Bakersfield. What album should I download? I'm gonna start getting back in the gym. I need a new playlist. Shout out to Berkeley, my backyard. Oh, it's garbage? I'm hearing a lot of people say that. Normally Eminem spit, but San Fernando. My Yoga Monday. Yeah, I might have to come back with that. Gang gang. Athens, Georgia. Creed soundtrack's good workout. Alright, that's enough with the roll call. Let's get into it. Listen, people. Listen. You know new media, man. We in this. We run this. And it's not looking good for the homie Jeff Horn. A simple listen. This is Google, and I'm gonna show you what comes up. Google top story. Listen, top stories. Johnny Lewis wants Jeff Horn to fight Anthony Mundine. Jeff Horn's next fight. Avoid Terence Crawford, says Johnny Lewis. Right? Johnny Lewis wants Jeff Horn to fight Anthony Mundine. And you could do this all day. Terence Crawford wants millions. Horn motivated to impress. Like, it's just, man, this is all over the place. This is like literally all over the place. Boxing News 24. Horn wants $4 million for Crawford fight. Alright, I think we got a hot seat. The boy Arsenal boy forever. It looked like he's trying to start with me. He said, Ego, stop this. Jeff Horn isn't scared. He whooped Pac-Man. Okay, I don't think he whooped Pac-Man, even if you had him winning. He said, hot seat me, please, from London. Okay. So, what is Jeff Horn whooping Pac-Man, which I don't think he whooped him. I think it was a close fight. What does that got to do with Terence Crawford? That's like saying, hey, Keith Thurman, he's not afraid of Errol Spence because he beat Julio Diaz. Like, they're two different people. What are you talking about? Damn, I'm cooking. Man, I'm going to turn you to some London fish and chips. Shout out to London, though. What does whooping Pacquiao have to do with Crawford? I'm a soccer player over here. Can I make a point? Go ahead. You in the hot seat, my friend. Shout out to London. Shout out to soccer players. What's your point? How are you comparing? You said, stop this. Jeff Horn is not afraid of Crawford or ducking him or making excuses because he whooped Pac-Man. So explain and elaborate that point for the audience. Oh yeah, you asked to make a point and we waiting. This is what I have to go through every time. Are you playing soccer as we speak? Like, come on, man. We got a show to run. And now, like, I'm just waiting and waiting. Man, do you guys notice, like, 9 out of 10 times? All right, he says, big fan, not going at ego, but Jeff was probably poor growing up. He's finally in the position I would like to be myself also. He now wants to make big bucks. We have to respect that. Listen, that has nothing to do with anything. So he was poor. Like, first of all, he was a school teacher. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about what school district and all that, but the situation is how you know he was poor growing up. If you're a school teacher, you have to go to school to become a teacher. So he might have come from a affluent family and went to college. So once again, you're making up his background story. I've heard of people like Maidana growing up poor, but I never once heard Jeff Horn is poor. So where did you hear that he was? You said he was probably poor. You said he was probably poor. So to me, there's no where can I find more information on that? Okay, but listen, you coming at new media with probablys. We talking about the current juncture. I could show you elements from Team Horn. I can show you elements from Team Horn that are actually showing that it looks like there's some fear there. You're saying he's probably poor when he was growing up. You know what I'm saying? It's not looking good for you, fam. Not looking good at all. He was a school teacher, so he had to get some. You don't just drop out of college. Drop out of high school and become a school teacher. That's not how it works. So it sounds like he finished high school, went to college, became a school teacher, and now you're saying he was poor. And anyway, what does that have to do with him today in Crawford? He's not poor now. He just made some money. He made almost $1 million fighting Pacquiao. So what are you talking about? So because he was poor, so when he was poor when he was a kid, yo man, because he was poor when he is a kid, which you can't even tell me how to verify that story, right? Now that he's an adult doing well for himself, teaching school and detention and all these after school programs, fighting Pacquiao, now all of a sudden we have to just, we have to respect him ducking a fighter now? Man, get your mans out of here, man. Arsenal, let's just go to vote. Gotta have money to go to school. This is not even a fair hot seat. Everybody put your L's up. If you got an L off of one response, put your L's up. It's just, once again, part of your story is a probably that no one can verify. Cause I watch a lot of boxing, and I ain't never seen anything about Jeff Horn grew up poor. All right, I'm not gonna block you. I'm gonna put you on timeout. You lost. I had to put, man, listen. I put him in timeout, so he'll be able to come back. We're done with that. But listen, so many excuses, man. So, Terence Crawford's from Omaha, and Omaha has some hoods, and he's still fighting and wanting to challenge himself. So why are we making excuses? Because Jeff Horn came from Australia, and he was allegedly poor. What about Terence Crawford? What if he was poor? But guess what? He's still trying to compete at the highest level. So what are we really saying? You guys got to analyze what you say. At least you're going to battle in the hot seat. All right, we got another hot seat. Shout out to Ricardo Rodriguez. He has a question. You want to step up? This is how you can step up. Ricardo Rodriguez says, Ego, why is it okay for Deontay Wilder asking for 50-50, but Jeff Horn can't ask for $5 million? See, this is what boxing fans continually try to do. They try to take fight A or fighters A and B and compare them to fighters C and D. So you tell me how it's the same, and I'll tell you how those two fights are different. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? So you tell me, Ricardo Rodriguez, my opening statement, opening question to you is compare Wilder Joshua to Crawford Horn and tell me how those fights are the same. We got back-to-back hot seat because someone else said that in the comment section. You guys just read comments and think of this rhetoric and, oh yeah, but Mayweather did it. These guys aren't Mayweather. You know what I mean? You guys always want to compare some shit that's not even the same situation. So we're waiting on you, Ricardo. My first question to you, to open you up, pause, is how is Wilder? Okay, you're lying. He said they both champions. Terence Crawford is not a champion at 147. So you just lied. Jeff Horn is the only champion in that fight. Wilder is a champion with the WBC, and Joshua has 2 belts. So I just caught you up in a lie. That's strike 1. No. You didn't say at 140, and he's not a champion at 140 because motherfuckers are fighting for his belt. Because he had to get rid of him when he announced he couldn't fight mandatories because he was moving up. So you're really on strike 2, but I'm gonna count that as strike 1. How is Crawford? How is he? If Sergey Lipinets has his belt and he's fighting Mikey Garcia, right, for the belt that Crawford just had, how the fuck is Crawford a champion? What belt does Crawford have at 140 when we all know he's moving up? Strike 1 is really strike 2 because you said 2 lies. Keep going and get burned. Compare Wilder Joshua, and so what other comparisons do you have with? He said, okay, I got you. So that's really strike 3 because you agree with me. Okay, you got me. That's really a strike 3 because what you just said didn't come up. They're not both champions. Anything else? It's not the same situation. Wilder's trying to Wilder's in the Wilder Joshua equation. Wilder has. He said, I was just asking. Hey, I'm just putting people in the hot seat because y'all keep using the same recycled rhetoric and you want to compare 2 different things that have absolutely nothing to do with each other. Jeff Horn is Jeff Horn. He's accomplished what he's accomplished. Joshua's accomplished what he's accomplished. Crawford's accomplished what he's accomplished. And Wilder has accomplished what he's accomplished. So why are we comparing that? Like I said, people always do this where they say, let's say Pacquiao and Broner or something. They'll say, oh, but Mayweather versus Pacquiao is this. Those aren't even the same fights. You know what I mean? Wilder has been a champion longer than Joshua. They're both champions in unification, right? And Wilder has had multiple $1 million paydays, as has Joshua, right? So what are we comparing with Jeff Horn? He got $750,000. He got $750,000 to fight Pacquiao. So to my knowledge, and to fight Gary Corcoran. So to my knowledge, those were his biggest fights, a title defense and the Pacquiao shot, and he hasn't made $1 million. So now him trying to get $5 million when he has no name in the state. Like everyone always wants to say Deontay Wilder has no name in the States, but the Barclays was lit. I was just at the fight, right? And Anthony Joshua, he's been fighting on Showtime in the States. He's obviously a big deal in the UK. So what are we really comparing? Wilder Joshua is a bigger fight than Crawford Horn. Now, if we're talking about Crawford versus Errol Spence, or Keith Thurman, okay, maybe that's something different. But Jeff Horn is not just ringing bells like that. In fact, this is the other thing. Since you want to compare Joshua and Wilder to this equation, Jeff Horn's biggest win, some people think he didn't even win, like myself. I talked to Errol Spence, I have it on tape, and he thought Pacquiao won, and as did I, but some people had Jeff Horn winning. Deontay Wilder and Joshua at least have wins against, you know what I mean, ranked guys where you could say that there's no question who won. Everybody, let's vote. If he got that L trying to compare Wilder and Joshua in the bidding situation, put your L's up. Everybody wants to compare two different scenarios. Unless they're like shockingly close. Okay, this is the first time ever. He gave himself a L. If you go up the comment, the Ricardo dude just gave himself a L. I ain't never seen that. I ain't never seen me body someone so bad where the person who got bodied gave himself. You know, that's waving the white flag. I'm just gonna put you in timeout. Okay, so he got his L and he agreed to it. So that's basically waving the white flag. I'm just gonna put him in timeout. And if he comes back talking crazy, then we'll just block him. So listen, I'm trying to tell y'all there ain't gonna be too many more of these mercies, because I'm not just gonna keep showing mercy. That defeats the whole purpose of the hot seat. So, like I said, y'all got disagreements and all that. Make sure you formulate your argument well, because I'm coming. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. People always want everything to be equal and by, and it's just not. It's not. You know what I mean? Wilder Joshua is its own entirely different fight with its entirely different circumstances. People want to say, oh, Wilder Joshua, what about the fight doesn't happen? Mayweather and Pacquiao didn't happen for 5-6 years. Mayweather and Pacquiao were fighting on different networks. Pacquiao didn't want to take a drug test. So to my knowledge, Joshua and Wilder both fight on Showtime. Wilder can fight on Sky Sports. There's no issue with drug testing. So once again, these aren't the same circumstances. Stop trying to compare things that aren't even really related at all. Back to your man's Jeff Horn. Back to it just not looking good. He's talking about 4 or 5 million. The thing that makes it worse too. The thing that makes it worse is that Jeff Horn's team, they're over talking. One day they come out like with an interview and they say Crawford is not. Shout out to Arsenal. He lost the hot seat, but he's already back in off of the timeout. So shout out to him. But this is the thing. Jeff Horn's team literally just came out and said Crawford's not a big star. He doesn't know how to interview and he doesn't know how to market himself, right? So basically he's not a big star. Then days later, another interview comes out and they said they want $4 to $5 million to fight against Terence Crawford because it's a big fight and he's pound for pound caliber. Like, those are two contradictory statements. First you said he ain't no star. Now you're saying you want top dollar for him. You want more money for Crawford than you got for Pacquiao. You know what I mean? So it's not looking good for Team Jeff Horn. And on top of everything, like Snoop said, to make that even more fucked up, he's a mandatory. So it's like, this is who the WBO is really telling you that you have to fight, and you're making up all these excuses about. I'm not saying the fight won't happen, because like I said, the WBO, they could say, hey, if you don't fight him, then you don't have a belt. You know what I mean? Can you even set a price that high for a mandatory? Yeah, I think you guys can. The two camps can negotiate, and if they can't negotiate by a certain time, then it goes to a purse bid, which is an auction style. And whoever wins that auction style bid, they put up the money, and then they do like a designated split, like 75-25 or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So right now they can negotiate, just like Triple G and Jacobs. Jacobs, he felt he was worth a little bit more money. He said, I already made over $1 million to fight Quillin. So if I fight for 25% versus Golovkin, then I'm getting less than I got for Quillin. So they handled it before it went to a purse bid. And you know what the funny thing is? The other thing that makes it bad is Manny Pacquiao is a fucking legend. Right? And he went over as champion. He beat Jesse Vargas for the WBO belt. He went over to Australia as champion. Now, to get Jeff Horn to come to America, I don't think he's had one fight outside of Australia, if I'm not mistaken, because he had like 16, 17 fights. I don't think he's ever fought outside of Australia. Now, to get him to come over to America, knowing he's not a big star in America, right? He wants all this money. But Pacquiao definitely had more to lose in this situation by even fighting Jeff Horn, and Pacquiao went over to Australia to fight you. But for him to come over, he talking about, I need Canelo. Do you guys understand Canelo? If I'm not mistaken, Canelo, when he fought Floyd Mayweather, he got $5 million guaranteed, and then the rest of his money came from the back end, which obviously that fight did very well. So he got a lot more than $5 million when it was said and done. But still, that was his base purse. And this is what Jeff Horn is saying he wants? Come on, man. Shout out to Philly, Philly in the building. And then the other thing is this. Jeff Horn versus Crawford, I doubt they would put it on pay-per-view. It sounds Top Rank's been putting those types of fights on ESPN. So without any kind of back-end money and charging people, then I don't know if Jeff Horn, I don't know if it's realistic that ESPN would give Horn only $4 or $5 million. You feel what I'm saying? $4 or $5 million just for Horn. Nothing to do with what the promoters are gonna get, nothing to get to paying the venue or Crawford's purse. 4 to 5 just for Horn. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. ESPN's a big network, obviously, but I don't know the logistics. You know what I mean? I don't know the logistics if they can pay like that. You know what I mean? Because you like Mayweather McGregor, clearly they can't put on regular TV because the logistics wouldn't make sense. They both need too much money. Ego, Broner versus Loma at 140. Who would win? I mean, I would pick Lomachenko. He obviously has more momentum. If you can't beat Mikey Garcia, then no one's gonna have faith that you can beat. That you can beat Lomachenko. But I mean, if he was at 130, 135, maybe it could be a better fight. But stylistically, that doesn't suit Broner. I don't think Loma would make Broner quit. But he's not throwing enough punches. You got like, listen. I'm not trying to sound cool or whatever, but I feel like I study boxing enough, and almost every fighter, I could tell you things on how to beat them. You know what I'm saying? Like I could tell you ways to beat Golovkin, like what you would need to do. But the thing is, it's easier said than done. You would have to have the intangibles to do it. But I see the way to beat Golovkin. I see the way to beat Lomachenko. I mean, because Lomachenko has a loss. But even Golovkin, who's undefeated, I see how you can beat him. But you would have to be able to be a fighter that has those skills and has those intangibles to pull it off. And one of the ways to beat Lomachenko, Salido showed you. Pressure, get off first, make it rough, make him uncomfortable, have respectable power, etc., etc., etc. You know what I mean? If you let Lomachenko get off on you first, then you probably getting chopped up. It's very simple. You know what I mean? If he starts getting to a rhythm where he's having fun, and you're just gonna get bewildered. Shout out to Poland. Eagle, I'm from Florida. Is it safe to say we had the worst L's this year? Who did y'all have? Keith Thurman fought one time. He's from Florida. He beat Danny Garcia. Erickson Lubin got an L. I don't know. Who else from Florida got an L? I just remember Erickson Lubin. Rigonau's not really from Florida. He trains in Miami. I mean, he's from Cuba, but I mean, if that's what you guys are counting, that's, I don't know. I don't really count, because that's like saying King Kong Ortiz. Someone said Lubin is enough. Wow. Man, but Luis Ortiz didn't even really get that bad of a L. Yes, his fight got canceled, but there's a good chance that it's gonna happen next. You know what I'm saying? There's a good chance that it's gonna happen next, and he's back in the rankings, just like Alexander Povetkin. Boxing is so funny. How you cheating and then you already back in the rankings? Two different people. Ego, how do you think Robert Easter Jr. would his style beat Lomachenko? In my honest opinion, he has a shot. I can't say 100%, but you got to look at it. Easter is extremely tall, and he gives up his height, and he's not really. He likes that inside work. He likes the phone booth. You know what I mean? And I think he has good power. So if he fights like he fought Richard Comey, you know what I mean? Probably, especially if he can, like, if he has a snappy jab that he can use consistently, he has a shot. Man, listen, with this Lomachenko stuff, it's crazy. He's good. Lomachenko is good. He's a good fighter. But I'm telling you, as you move up in weight, it doesn't just work like that, where you could just, everything you could do in little, like, let's say Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's arguably the greatest of all time, TBE, at least this generation's best. He moved up to 140 his very first fight and fought DeMarcus Corley, who I believe had lost to Cotto, right, and Zab, right, and Corley hurt him, and then he had to get back on his shit, bite down, and then he beat up on what's the name, Corley after, but Corley was still able to hurt him. So once again, one of the best boxers who blew through guys at 130 and 35, had good wins against Gottis and Corrales and stuff. He moved up to 40 and fought a guy who had lost to Cotto and Zab or whatever, and he still was challenged. So in my honest opinion, no, I'm not hating on Lomachenko, but he is not breaking some kind of mold, doing stuff that I've never seen, to the point where he's invincible and he's just going to move up and not be tested. I really don't see that happening. You guys could believe this fairy tale bullshit. I mean, like, even like Roy Jones versus John Ruiz, we give him a lot of credit because he moved up from 54, I think, is where he started, to heavyweight in one career. So the motherfucker's a beast. But he fought John Ruiz. If he would have fought Lennox Lewis, then that would have been a harder fight, even if somehow he's able to beat Lennox Lewis. But Lennox Lewis being 6'5" and bigger, it's just a different fight. And listen, there's an easy way to settle everything that I'm saying. Push for Top Rank and Lomachenko to fight those types of fights. You know what I mean? If you want to stay at 130, fight Tank, fight Berchelt. If you can't get those, fight Mikey Garcia. Robert Garcia just said Mikey's not staying at 40, even if he beats what's the name, Sergey Lipinets. So he said he'll come back down to 35 for Lomachenko. Fight him, fight Robert Easter, fight Jorge Linares, and then we'll see how it ends up. But I don't foresee those as all being super easy fights and Loma just makes all them quit. I don't, because like I said, Pacquiao, if you guys watch the Manny Pacquiao movie, he's gonna fight me. Watch the Pacquiao fucking movie. This is before he fought Floyd when they filmed it, but he says Antonio Margarito was one of my most difficult fights, if not the most difficult, right? And it was just because, not that Margarito is technically better than Cotto, technically better than Shane Mosley or whoever, De La Hoya. It's just because Margarito's big. He's big. And even though it looked like Pacquiao was beating the shit out of Margarito, Pacquiao, if you really watch boxing, Pacquiao got hurt in that fight. He got hurt in that fight. See, people don't watch boxing like me. You know what I mean? They overlook stuff like that. I've seen Lomachenko get hurt, but no one's able to pull the trigger and like finalize it. Jason Sosa hurt Lomachenko. You know what I mean? Margarito hurt Pacquiao. But that's what happens when you're a champion. Hey, why did Arsenal boy get blocked? Because he lost the hot seat. Was he tripping? See, we try to listen. I'm gonna start being a stickler, because I let the Arsenal dude lose a hot seat, and I just put him in timeout, and then one of my moderators just blocked him because he kept putting stuff. I don't know exactly what he was saying. So I'm gonna stop, man. I'm just gonna stop showing mercy, and then just if you get it, you get it. Loma is gonna be the next Roy Jones. False. Roy Jones had power. Listen. Someone said, fuck you too, you blocked. Listen, how is Loma gonna be the next Roy Jones? And Roy had crazy power, right? Some of his, watch Roy Jones Jr. versus Richard Hall. That was at like 175. See, that's how I know you guys don't know shit about boxing. Roy Jones started at, like, let's say 54, and then he was at 175, melting Richard Hall and David Telasco, guys who had been fighting at higher weights than him. Then he moved all the way up to heavyweight. So once again, if I'm proven wrong, then let's see Lomachenko jump all those weight classes. If he's the next Roy Jones, then he should be able to move up classes like Roy Jones did. And I don't think that's going to happen, because I don't think he has the power, and he's already 29 years old, and he's at a point in his career where he would have to start doing them jumps ASAPless at this point. Roy Jones, he's rated at middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, cruiserweight, and heavyweight. That's 5 classes. Just like Floyd Mayweather. So let's see him move up 5 to 8 weight classes. Let's see him move up 4 weight classes like Cotto and Adrian Broner. See, a lot of y'all don't know boxing. And it's like, and it's always the ones that don't really know boxing that have the most to say. Yard versus Usyk, they're in 2 different divisions. That doesn't make sense. Why would Anthony Yard, a light heavyweight, fight a guy named Usyk, who's a cruiserweight? Once again, some of y'all don't know boxing. You just hear names and start, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's, yeah, Wilder and Steve Cunningham. Like, what? They're in 2 different divisions. Why would they fight? And actually, Steve Cunningham actually fought at heavyweight, unlike Yard hasn't fought at cruiserweight. Yeah, man. But that's what I'm saying. And like, I feel like it's unfair to Lomachenko, because the media is making it real rough on him. You know what I mean? Because they keep putting this. Look, I just posted this. Look. See, instead of old media letting Vasily Lomachenko show his greatness over time and earn it like every other legend had to do, they want to tell you in 11 fights and a loss, no one has ever seen this this athleticism and skill. Roy Jones is my favorite fighter of all time and was Mr. Untouchable from 1988 to early 2000s. Look it up. So what are you really saying? And Roy was disrespectful with it. Had more power per capita. Let's see modern era fighters earn their stripes and stop comparing them to boxing's rich history. Unified division first. Right? Unified division first. Move up and take risks if you need a challenge. Prove your worth over time and stop name dropping legends to build your brand. New media. This man was disrespectful with it. Look at the, oh my. Why did he do that? This wasn't even in his first weight class. Look at that hand speed. What the fuck are y'all saying to me? Oh my gosh. Look at it. Did I just say that? Oh my God. This is at like 75. Look at his head. Watch him get stopped. Didn't I just say that? And he was taller and bigger. Watch him. Bow. Bow. Roy was like, look. Okay. Just so y'all know, Roy was flurrying on dude. Roy was such a beast. He stopped and had a conversation with the ref in the middle of this onslaught and said, "Hey man, stop." He said, "Hey dude, you need to stop this." He said something like that to the referee. So in the middle of a flurry, he looks over at the ref and tells him, "Hey man, you gotta stop this. I'm whooping this boy ass." And the ref was like, "No." And then Roy shrugs his shoulders and commences to whip his ass. Like, okay, I try to warn you. Watch. See, I study boxing. Watch him talk to the ref. He tried to get the ref to stop it because he knew the dude was on his way out. Look, watch him in the middle of this. "Hey, you need to stop this. Get this boy out of here." And he's like, "All right." And then he knocks him out. What are y'all really saying, man? So that's what I'm saying. Like, all this, see, people, I got tough skin, so I don't really give a fuck what y'all talking about. You know what I mean? Ooh, Ego, you're a hater. You're racist. But I ain't say nothing racist about anybody. So I don't care about all that extra shit. But when you see the media talking about, "Oh, we've never seen this athleticism and skill." Roy had that. He had speed, unfuckwittable speed. And in my opinion, no disrespect to Lomachenko, but it's more impressive because Roy was fighting in bigger weights. He had that speed at 75. You know what I'm saying? I expect a little guy who's doing handstands and acrobatics and stuff to be fast if he's fast. You know what I'm saying? Roy went up to heavyweight and had speed. That's different. You know what I mean? He had middleweight with speed. Golovkin's slow as fuck at middleweight. Roy was fast. You know what I'm saying? So it's just they're putting too much. They're putting too much pressure on Lomachenko. Let the dude just earn it. And like I said, if you have a problem with a person like me saying he's on his way, he's doing good, but let's see some more, then you are the problem. You are the problem. Because why would you be why are you in that much of a rush instead of just waiting to see it? You know what I mean? I'm not telling you what Lomachenko can or can't be. I'm just saying as of right now, he's good. But in 11 fights with a loss, we can't say we've seen everything we need to see when we've seen guys for 2 years. And the thing is, it's not even a Lomachenko thing. I don't do this with anybody. People keep asking me, "Oh, what do you think of Daniel Dubois? What do you think of Anthony Yard? What do you think of Bevo?" They cool. What do you think of Josh Kelly? They cool. But I mean, until they step up, we don't really know what they are. I mean, just listen to how consistent I am. Listen to what I'm saying to you people. Listen. Just a couple years ago, people were saying Antoine Douglas was the next big thing. And I just watched Bronson, Tom Hardy, knock Antoine Douglas out for the second time. Both of his losses came from knockouts. Now, if you go back on my channel, and I'll put $400 US on this. Go to my channel. Some people are like, "Oh, you only support black fighters and all this goofy shit." I got $400 US that you won't find one video of me. Like, the whole video is dedicated to Antoine Douglas telling you he's the next coming of Jesus. I never said that. You know what I'm saying? I was never someone who was just like, "Oh yeah, Antoine Douglas, he's better than Roy, he's better than he can beat Golovkin." You ain't never heard me say that. Ever. I ain't never made no video like that. Because guess what? Time reveals all. And I gotta see it. I told you I've been on I've been binge watching Forensic Files, and it's just like a relationship. Sometimes people that they end up killing their husband or whatever, and when they first got with the person, they thought they were someone else, and they didn't realize that person had like a dark past and stuff like that. So in the first 3-6 months, you're like, "Oh, this is the perfect person for me," right? And then you marry him. And then after you're with them for a length of time, you're like, "Oh, damn, she lied to me. She said she had never been married, and I just found out she was married 8 times. And one of her husbands got killed mysteriously, and it's unsolved." You know what I mean? So everything comes with time. You know what I mean? That's why you shouldn't rush into a marriage. You shouldn't rush into anointing a fighter. And in the end, you look dumb. Is early ego, but Daniel Dubois is the truth. I see why he dropped AJ multiple. He looks the part. He looks cool. But again, it's nothing. None of that. How's he take a punch? Yeah, he dropped Joshua. What if you put him in there with Wilder right now? He'll beat Wilder. You say Wilder's windmill Wilder. Would Daniel Dubois right now go from 5-0 or whatever he is to beating Wilder right now? You know what I'm saying? It's just, I seen him. He got hit. He got touched. He got touched by the guy he just fought. Lost to Joshua by second round stoppage. So I'm realistic. I have no problem with Frank Warren moving him like that because that's what you're supposed to do as a promoter. You know what I mean? Limited amateur background. He has some good accolades in sparring, but that's what you guys do. And see, some people just try so desperately to make this like, oh, you're racist and the race thing. But Daniel Dubois, I'm saying the same thing I say about him to Lomachenko. I'm not saying he better than Mike Tyson or Lennox Lewis. I don't do that. You know what I mean? People want to take it personal when it's said about Lomachenko. Daniel Dubois, he looks the part. But ultimately, there's a lot of fighters that, like I just said, Antoine Douglas was supposed to be that dude. And there's other things in boxing. Antoine Douglas lost to Aventel Kurtitze, and he getting arrested for the RICO law and shit. So where's his career at? You know what I mean? Who would have predicted that he would be caught up in some kind of cartel trafficking? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that comes up. You don't really know. So once again, if you have a problem with people saying Lomachenko is good, but let us continue seeing it and fight somebody who the public feel like for example, Mikey Garcia. People who have worked with Mikey Garcia and been on his stable are picking him to beat Lomachenko. Guys like Nonito Donaire and Brandon Rios, right? Fans are picking Mikey Garcia. Fans are picking Lomachenko. So those are undeniable fights where you would have to give the props to the winner. There's no like, oh, one guy moved up 2 weight classes at almost 40. There's nothing like that. There's 2 good fighters, 2 guys with momentum. Let's see it. You know what I mean? And then start talking about that. And I tell you, this is make sure, listen, we got almost 200 people in here and we don't have 100 likes. Hit that like button, smash the like button if you're in here and you respect just good old-fashioned boxing talk, because this is what it's all about. And I'm not afraid to speak my mind. Some people are, and they're cowards and tuck their tail. Oh, I can't say anything. I don't care if what I'm saying is popular or unpopular. If that's how I feel, that's how I feel. Deal with it. And like I keep saying, I'm not even saying nothing bad about Lomachenko. All I'm saying is he's a good fighter. Let's keep seeing. And let's see him in there where he's up against a bigger person, like we've seen with Roy Jones, Pacquiao. If you want to compare him to these people, Mayweather. Shit, even Canelo. Triple G is a very good fighter, and he's clearly bigger than Canelo. You know what I mean? At least height and reach and more middleweight experience. And we at least seen him go. So once we start seeing Lomachenko in those same situations, we'll get to see. We'll get to see. But so far, he fought his whole listen to me. Lomachenko's whole 2016 was guys moving up. Factually speaking, he fought Miguel Mariaga this year, who came up from 26 to 130, and he fought Rigondeaux, who came up from 122 to 130. So his whole year, he fought against people moving up. So if he's better than Ali, and he's better than, did he fight Jason Sosa? Was that this year? Was Jason Sosa this year? I don't remember. But even if Jason Sosa, two of 3 of his fights this year. Okay, so 2 of 3 of his fights, guys were moving up. 2 of 3. So that's what I'm saying. So let's see someone, and like I said, Jason Sosa doesn't have an amateur pedigree. I'm telling you, this is what Top Rank is good at. They're good at building and the matchmaking and looking at matches that look super competitive, like Walters. But when you start scrutinizing the actual facts, you start seeing little things where like, okay, advantage to Lomachenko. Jason Sosa, he had a draw, and we all know he lost to Nicholas Walters, but they said it was a draw. And he has a limited amateur background. So he beat Javier Fortuna, so you're like, okay, that's a great name. So when Lomachenko destroys him, you're like, oh, cool. Nicholas Walters, you're like, oh, that's a great name. He beat Broner and Victor Chinian. But then you look deeper, and you're like, oh, he was on a very long layoff where he gained weight. They know this stuff. You know what I mean? Same, like, for example, look at Mikey Garcia versus Broner. Name how Mikey was at some kind of supreme advantage over Broner, like I just did with Rigondeaux or Jason Sosa or whatever. How was Mikey at some supreme advantage? Broner had more fights at 40. He had more fights at 47, and Mikey dogged Broner and dominated him. And now Broner's doing mixtapes and shit. And I don't even know when he's coming back. So it's not like Mikey has some supreme. The only advantage he had was that he was undefeated, but he was the smaller undefeated fighter moving up. Exactly. See, Ego Army is starting to show up in these comment sections. I love it. But if we're looking at Lomachenko versus Martiaga, Loma was bigger. Martiaga was coming off of a loss to Oscar Valdez a couple months before, and he was a smaller guy, and he moved up. So that's, to me, and on top of that, Lomachenko is a decorated amateur, so he has a lot of experience. So obviously the major advantages went to Lomachenko. Even Rigondeaux. Lomachenko was younger, bigger, more active, and he wasn't moving up in weight. Oh, let's talk about this, because some people, oh, you're fucking biased, dude. Listen, the reason people, you guys got to listen to what people say. People are like, oh, you would have gave Rigondeaux a ton of credit if he beat Lomachenko. Yeah, because I knew how many advantages or how many disadvantages were stacked against him. So you guys mean to tell me if a guy moves up 2 weight classes and beats a guy 2 weight classes above him, you would not give that person who moved up and took the challenge more credit? Like, what the fuck are y'all really saying? But they try to flip it like you're biased. So, for example, if Kell Brook moved up and knocked out Golovkin and or beat him convincingly, you would give Kell Brook less credit than you give for Golovkin. So a lot of people keep doing this whole thing. See, we're gonna expose the real. A lot of people are like, yeah, a lot of you guys pick Rigondeaux, and now that he lost, you don't want to give him credit. No, people are, I don't know about everyone, but I'm giving him credit because it still takes a tremendous fighter to make Rigondeaux quit. But obviously, the person with all the advantages aren't going to get the same amount of praise as the person who took all of the risk, 95% of the risk. Once again, if Kell Brook beat Golovkin, I would give Kell Brook more credit because he was at the disadvantage. He was the shorter armed guy. He was moving up 2 divisions, etc. So that, just to clear the air on that, some people, what? You would have gave Rigo? Of course I would have, because he was the smaller man. He was the 37-year-old man, and he was the guy who was taking all the risks. So of course, just like Shane Mosley beating De La Hoya. That's how it goes. If De La Hoya would have beat Mosley, you would give him credit because lightweights couldn't touch Shane Mosley. So if De La Hoya at welterweight was able to beat him, you'd be like, that was a very solid win. But at the same time, you would give more credit to the person who dramatically had disadvantages and moved up in weight. Boom. We working. I had to clear the air on that. No matter how much you educate these cats, they still ain't gonna comprehend boxing, #facts. It don't matter. My goal is for the real boxing heads and the real boxing fans, at the end of the day, the louder Ego's Army gets, the louder new media's message gets, it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to change the world, but I will spark the brain, you know what I'm saying? So it's cool, but I'm gonna make it to the point where when you're saying that stupid shit, just like the hot seat, you're gonna look dumber and dumber. You could still say it. You could still say the bullshit and the stuff that nobody believes, but I promise you, I will make you look dumber and dumber and dumber for spewing that garbage. So it's not about changing people. I don't care if no one changes, But as long as it's just like putting on a light and the roaches scatter. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to make the roaches scatter. So people like Dan Rayfield, he's saying Lomachenko beats Pretty Boy Floyd. I ask you once again, name one respected pro fighter that's coming up, backing up with what he's saying. Because I could think of Brandon Rios. You can say whatever you want. Brandon Rios, Terence Crawford, Robert Garcia, Mikey Garcia, and I'm sure there's other people, Robert Guerrero, and they're all saying, nah, hell nah. And they're disagreeing with him, just like me. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I do it, I'm racist. But Robert Guerrero says, Robert, y'all want to see? If y'all want to see, let's get to 124 likes. I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all the game. I'm going to show you this is why new media is on top and these young boys can't beat me. These young boys can't beat me. It's some easy ass work. Easy work. Let's get to 125 likes or better so I can show you that work, man. And like I said, people can dislike and hit the dislike button, all that type of stuff. But as long as they don't disprove, new media stay winning because everyone can see where it's coming from. Right? We like 5 likes away. Ego Army, stand up for the real shit. Hit that like button. Who the fuck is Reggie Steele? Y'all want him gone bad. What's Reggie Steele saying? I don't see him. I don't see him. I'm not gonna look all day for this dude. Reggie Steele, where you at? Leave a comment. Put the same shit you was putting. Yeah, I don't see him. I'm not gonna look all day for this dude. He said Lomachenko stops Terence Crawford. Yeah, if you said that, then definitely. Okay, Reggie Steele. What did you say about Crawford and Lomachenko? Just repeat what you said. Just repeat what you said. Like, did you, Reggie, you said you're right here. Did you say that Lomachenko would stop Terence Crawford? Yes or no? All right. Okay, you said yes. All right, you in the hot seat. He says you hate on white fighters when they get some light and then discredit them. Okay, so Reggie, shout out to Sky. He said Reggie is smoking at Reggie. Now I'm about to fillet you. So I hate on white fighters, yet I did a live stream immediately after Billy Joe Saunders, and I said how impressed I was with his performance. He did everything he needed to do. I didn't bash him. Now, Billy Joe Saunders is white. He's a gypsy. So that just disproves what you just said. I hate on white fighters when they get shine, and I'm the one giving him shine on my channel with 100,000. So that whole white fighter shit, looking shaky, baby. Because if I want to hate on white fighters, then I'm gonna hate on why would Billy Joe Saunders be exempt from that? No, now he's trying to switch it. You just said I hate on white fighters. Now you said LOL, you hate on Triple G and Loma. So I can't just be stating my opinion on whatever I said with Triple G and Loma. First you said I hate on white fighters. New media, people. 8 retweets, 47 likes. Timestamp December 16th, 9:20. Boxing Ego. Very, very impressed with Billy Joe Saunders' performance. Never in danger, controlled distance, educated jab, displayed showmanship, and he came to Lemieux backyard of Canada and schooled him. Arguably pitched a shutout. So, I hate white fighters. I gave you one piece of proof, right? That's just one. I could also talk about how my dude Caleb Plant, that's my dude. You know what I'm saying? I could also talk about Joey Spencer, that's my dude. I was just talking to his mom and his dad recently. So I've already disproven your whole, oh, you hate on racist fighter, or you're racist and hate on white fighters and all that other bullshit. Why am I giving Joey Spencer so much exposure as a fighter who hasn't even turned pro, if that's the case? Why am I giving Billy Joe Saunders props? Why am I giving Caleb Plant props? I hate all white fighters, right? That's what you said. You tough. Now he's trying to switch it. Before Loma Rigo, hold on. Now I'm not even reading what you said. I'm not even reading what you said. Explain, because this is how we get you out of here. What did he say, a nutty professor? Reggie! I've heard of dreadlocks, but shitlocks. Reggie. He's trying to put all this extra stuff. We're not tolerating that. You said Lomachenko would knock out Terence Crawford. What weight is this happening at? What weight do you think Crawford would get knocked out at by Lomachenko? If you answer anything else, you're disqualified. Reggie, what weight is Crawford getting knocked out by Lomachenko? Oh, he's gonna troll his way out of here. As long as y'all see it, it is what it is. You said Lomachenko would knock out Crawford. Where's Reggie at? See how long it's taking? Reggie. He said anyway. Wow. So Crawford's at 147. See, I'm telling y'all making it too hard and too much pressure. Because now, if that's the case, don't tell me about, oh, Loma needs to unify at 130. Why can't he go up to 35 and fight Mikey Garcia? Why can't he go to 140 and fight Mikey Garcia? If he could knock out Crawford, who beat Mikey Garcia in the amateurs, right? Why can't he fight Crawford at 47? You said any weight, right? That's what I'm saying. It's idiots like you that are making the barometer and the bar way too high for Lomachenko. Now, I would never say it being reasonable. I would never say that Lomachenko should move up to welterweight, right? I would never say, but since let you tell it, you saying he'll knock out Crawford, now I gotta see that. I want to see him go up. Everybody just type pussy. What did Jay say? We don't believe you. You need more people. If you think Terence Crawford would get knocked out at 147, when Gary Russell didn't get knocked out at 122, you fucking mutt you. Or 126 or whatever. You fucking mutt. Well, how's he gonna knock out Terence Crawford at 47 when Gamboa has more power and didn't even get knocked out? And he hurt him, but he didn't knock him out. So everybody type pussy. This shit is too easy. Reggie is quiet. Of course he's quiet. Let's vote. If you don't believe the shit, he said Mikey Garcia will get knocked out and Crawford will get knocked out by Lomachenko at any weight, but he has the audacity to call me a hater. I never said Lomachenko was bad. What I'm saying is let him prove his worth over time and earn his stripes. So who really looks like the real fan and who really looks like the imaginary fan and the hater? I agree, Loma will lose power moving up. Exactly. I mean, most people do, especially if he's at 130 with minimal power. He gonna move up 17 pounds and knock out an elite who's way bigger than him. Everybody put your L's up. Y'all might have to give him 2 L's like Cool J. We not playing. But see, that's what I'm saying. I hate white fighters, he said. And he says I'm unrealistic and I never give Loma his props. But you're giving him props that no one has ever seen. No one's ever seen him do shit with anybody at 147. But you're saying he can do it. Anyway, get him out of here. Angel, one of my mods, get Reggie's ass up out of here. Get Reginald Denny out of here. We beat the shit out you. New media. Reggie. Nah, he ain't leaving. We block him. Get Reggie out of here. Listen, we cannot go on Reggie hitting the pipe. See, this is what I'm talking about. And people always get mad at me. Listen, where's Reggie? Did y'all get Reggie out of here? I didn't never seen his name show blocked. Thank you, Angel. Once again, this is the fucking shit I'm talking about, with people putting this unfair pressure in these old media, unrealistic. See, listen, everybody type pussy. This is the pussy shit about it. So everybody type pussy. They'll tell you, oh, you're a hater. Why do you want to see Lomachenko move up to 35? But then they're also saying that Lomachenko can knock out Crawford at 47, and I'm the bad guy. When you say he can knock out an elite level guy, if Crawford fought Mikey Garcia, I would favor Crawford. That's just my opinion, right? But if you're saying he can knock out an elite level guy at 147, you're saying he's better than Ali. You're saying he can beat prime Floyd Mayweather or one of his prime performance divisions, right? And if I want to see him move up 5 pounds, I'm the bad guy, and I'm the one hating and let Lomachenko unify. Crazy. But as long as you guys see it, we winning. It's like I said, all I'm asking for you guys to be realistic. Be realistic. If Gary Russell Jr. went 12 with Lomachenko, it doesn't matter if he's trolling, because see, this is the thing. Just like Donald Trump, Dan Rayfield, all these motherfuckers in old media, what they do is they put out shit and it empowers people to leave these stupid ass comments. Oh, Floyd is boring. He would get his ass beat by Loma. You know what I'm saying? So that they create that. It helps them create that narrative. And see, like I said, this is my challenge. If you don't believe me, if you don't believe what I'm saying, listen to the dude who's asked me 1,000 times about Frampton Donaire. Please save your question, because we're in the middle of talking about something totally different. I'll try to get to questions, but I don't. You're putting it like 1,000 times. I see it. That's not the biggest fight on my mind, and we're in the middle of something. You keep, hey, Frampton Donaire. Hey, what about Frampton? Like, it's like a crackhead or something. Man, Frampton Donaire, please, man. You got that Frampton Donaire. I got these cheeseburgers. Like, chill. I see you, Frampton Donaire. Shit. Man, you ain't got none of that Frampton Donaire, man. Please, man. Like, fuck. I see whoever is putting Frampton Donaire, I see it. Y'all ain't got no more that Carl Frampton and that Nonito. Please, man. I got these cheeseburgers, man. Like, fuck. Anyway, I see the Frampton Donaire shit. And that's the other thing. It's not even like it's signed. It's not even a signed fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's like a done deal where we gotta talk about it. It's like I literally seen this Frampton Donaire comment like 100 times. I'm not trying to ignore you guys, but if we're in the middle of whatever, I gotta get my thoughts out about that. Like, man, got any more of that Frampton Donaire, man? That Frampton Donaire. Like, fuck. Do the gator dance? Y'all tripping. But anyway, about this Lomachenko, y'all just putting too much pressure on Lomachenko. Like, that's just what it is. Let him be great. Let him earn it. Bottom. And see, now Ego Army step up. Y'all gonna see it more and more. This is what I'm talking about. I've said time and time again, Lomachenko is a talent. Lomachenko is good. The only other thing I've said is let's see him fight somebody where everything's not stacked against them. Age, weight, momentum, inactivity, whatever. And over time, we'll see where he ends up. And stop comparing him to great. Those are the only things I've said. And again, the only people who are mad are like old media people and the fans of old media who are trying to rush it. Why would you be... I don't say that about Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly looks nice with it. But I'm not saying Josh Kelly will beat Prime Pacquiao he'll beat Roy. I'm not doing that to him either. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very consistent. But there's a reason they're trying to rush it, because they want to drill it in your head that Lomachenko is this something we've never seen in boxing and stuff like that. And they know he's 29, so they're trying to give him all the boost. But here, I said it before and I'll say it again. It's a very solid new media way we can handle this. Instead of Dan Rayfield, who looks like he can't do 3 crunches, right? Instead of him comparing Lomachenko to history's greats, people like Ali, Pretty Boy Floyd or whatever, compare him to people that are active fighters that would be good, tough fights, so we could actually have some hope of seeing it. Don't say the version of Lomachenko that made Rigondeaux quit would beat up on Floyd and give him hell. Say the version of Lomachenko that we just see made Rigondeaux quit will beat the shit out of Terence Crawford, because that they're both with top rank. Now we can start pushing for that, or he'll beat Mikey Garcia at 35. That's how you handle that. You comparing. That's why they cleverly, and I ain't talking Nathan, but they cleverly bring up fantasy bullshit ass fights, because it will stir up drama, stir up the bee's nest, and you can't prove it either way. You know what I'm saying? I could tell you all day who would win between Mike Tyson and David Tua, but it's not a realistic fight to happen now. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. That's why they do it, because they could create this alleged hype or whatever, and we can't put Floyd back in his 130 days. You know what I mean? To prove it. So again, compare them to active fighters. Say this version that made Rigondeaux quit will beat the fuck out of Pacquiao at 47. Okay, cool. Move up to 47 and let me see that. Or say he'll beat the shit out of Pacquiao at 140. Move up to 40 and let's see that. You know what I mean? So that's the games they try to play, and I'm trying to tell you, like the fight, like I'm not comparing Sergey Kovalev to Calzaghe or, you know what I mean, Hagler or somebody that he can't fight. The people I want to see Kovalev fight, Bivol, Sullivan Barrera, you know what I mean, if Ward comes back for a rematch. I mean, stuff like that could actually be realistic and happen. We got a super chat, people. I told y'all, them yellow and them orange super chats, they be the ones. Wilder haters are using Horn to justify Joshua not fighting him. It's not the same, because Wilder never said Joshua can't sell out a fight. He never used multiple reasons not to fight Joshua. Exactly. Jeff Horn, him and his team, they got to do some soul searching, because what they're doing for their fighters, it's not a good look. And see, this is what I'm talking about with old media and the great white hype or great white hope, whatever you want to call it. Jeff Horn is a new champion, and everything from his team looks like they're exploring options to possibly duck Terence Crawford. Meanwhile, people like Wilder, whether he can't sell, whether you think he's windmill Wilder or not, he at least is trying to unify. And Wilder gets more flack for calling out Joshua and them saying he's not worth it and he don't sell and making up reasons why the fight shouldn't happen, right? And he's getting more flack from the same fans who have all these criticism for people like Wilder for calling out and pursuing those fights. You know what I mean? Errol Spence is calling out Keith Thurman, and people are like, oh, what has he done and stuff. Meanwhile, Jeff Horn, him and his team are making it sound like they really want no smoke with Terence Crawford, and you don't really hear that. I don't see the headlines being blasted about Jeff Horn. That's what people are talking about. Shout out to the super chat, Kenyon Smith, Kayon Smith, $5 super chat. I have Edwin Valero beating Lomachenko at 130. Pressure fighters give Loma hell, i.e. Salido. P.S. I know Valero is dead. Your thoughts? I mean, the man had like 27 wins with 27 knockouts. So his power is the real deal. And that's the thing with Lomachenko. Like, obviously it's a fantasy fight, so we can't really prove it either way. But I would probably favor Edwin Valero, because Edwin Valero fought DeMarco in his prime and knocked him out, and he had that crazy power. They said he was giving Oscar De La Hoya and Eric Morales work in sparring. So yeah, that to me, that's the style. Lomachenko. Everyone wants to talk about Rigondeaux and stuff like that, but the style that has beaten him once, we never really seen him in there with that style again, or someone who could really mimic that style. Like, I think even a Mikey Garcia, I think he has it in his bloodline, in his skill set, to put on pressure, because he did it to Broner. Valero would walk through Lomachenko's punches. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, we're going to see. We really haven't even seen Lomachenko get, like, hit, really. Caleb Plant versus Jeff Horn. Doesn't even make sense. They're in two different divisions. That's what I'm saying. We haven't really even seen Lomachenko get hit by, like, I'm telling you, like if Lomachenko fought a Maidana style fighter, that would show me a lot more than Rigondeaux, Jason Sosa. And I understand Rigondeaux, his amateur background, people like me even picked him. But I'm saying, like, the style, certain style, you know the saying, styles make fights. Styles make fights. And the style that has given him issue, he's not really fought since Toledo. Caleb Plant versus Caleb Truex. I'll pick Plant, even though that would be his first title shot. I think his skills are too sweet. No disrespect to Caleb Truex, but to be honest, James DeGale just kind of has mental lapses, and he makes fight. James DeGale did what Antoine Douglas did, made a fight way harder than it needed to be, instead of using his skill set. The only difference is James DeGale didn't get knocked out for it, like Antoine Douglas versus O'Sullivan. And that's another person. The other guy that I just bodied in the hot seat, he says, "Oh, you hate white fight." Go on my Twitter, and I was giving nothing but props to O'Sullivan, Gary O'Sullivan, Spike O'Sullivan. I ain't said one bad thing about him. You know what I'm saying? And I said every criticism to Antoine Douglas. But once again, they wanted to be, on my part, they wanted to be racial so bad, but it's not. It's not. I'm giving the same criticism that I would give anyone. So, like I said, make them prove what they say. What y'all think of middleweight? Listen, if Canelo fights Triple G and that is announced sometime soon, I want to see Saunders, David, and Danny Jacobs. That's what I want to see. And the winner, I think, would be deserving of Canelo Triple G winner. Jeff Horn may win. Bet your money on Jeff Horn over Crawford then. I mean, straight up. If Jeff Horn, if you see, listen, because I was talking to this guy on Twitter. He was like, "Oh, you're sleeping on Jeff Horn." I said, "Okay, bet me $200." I said, "I'll bet $200 on Crawford. You bet $200. We'll put it in an escrow account." And he was like, "No, I'm picking Crawford to win." So it's like, what the fuck are y'all saying to me? What are y'all saying to me? You say I'm sleeping on Jeff Horn because I say Crawford's gonna win, and then when it comes time to bet, you talking about, "Oh no, I'm picking Crawford too." Then what am I sleeping on? How am I sleeping on him and you agree with me? See, that's what I'm saying. It's always, when you add money, that's when the shit gets real. Because people ain't trying to lose that money. He said, "Oh, you're not giving Horn enough credit. Jeff Horn, he's being overlooked." Okay, you bet on Mr. Overlooked then. I'll bet on Crawford, $200. You bet on Mr. Overlooked, the Horn. And then when it came down to that, he was like, "Oh no, I would favor Crawford." Then what are you really saying? You would favor Crawford, as would I, right? And then when it comes to the bet and the escrow and all that, the truth comes out. So how did I overlook Jeff Horn, but you didn't, and we both picking Crawford to beat Jeff Horn? You know what I'm saying? Crazy. But new media, as long as y'all see it, as long as we working, we getting this money, we burning some bodies. Oh, don't think I forgot. I got a couple super chats. But once again, new media. Shout out to ES News. Robert Guerrero. ESPN's Dan Rayfield is crazy if he thinks Lomachenko would beat Floyd at 130. 2 days ago. So, once again, you can say, oh, but Robert Guerrero, he got stopped by Omar Figueroa. But guess what? Robert Guerrero's a fucking pro fighter. What does that have to do with, you know what I mean? People always want to bring up stupid shit. So if you have a loss, then you can't have an opinion. But once again, where are all the old media, where are their interviews with top pro fighters or former champions or whatever who are saying and corroborating what Dan Rayfield put about Lomachenko polishing Floyd up at 130? You know what I'm saying? Where are they? Robert Guerrero fought Floyd at 47, and he's like, Dan Rayfield crazy if you think that. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is, when I said the same thing, oh, you're racially biased, man. So Robert Guerrero's racially biased too then. Even though his daddy and him didn't really even look like they liked Floyd Mayweather. You guys like this guy? Woman beater? Beat up his wife in front of his kids? Like, you know what I mean? They had a little beef. But when he says it, it's all good. I say it, it's because I'm racially biased. He ran like a chicken, bro. Yeah, all that extra shit. So at the end of the day, I don't think Robert Guerrero is just in love with Floyd where, you know what I'm saying? Angel was tripping. Oscar was so embarrassed. He was like, okay, Ruben, thank you. Okay, Ruben. He was trying to get, like, restore order. He's like, beat up his wife. Woman beater, baby. Baby nuts. Right? But like I said, I say it. You're racially biased. So Robert Guerrero must be racially biased because we saying the same fucking thing, dummy. See, when they can't disprove it, they have to try to assassinate your character and say other shit. Oh, you only like this and that, and you're racially biased. Robert Guerrero saying the same thing. Mikey Garcia and Robert Guerrero saying it. I mean, Robert Garcia and Mikey Garcia saying the same thing. So I guess we all racially biased in this motherfucker because Terence Crawford, black, Mexican fighter, Robert Guerrero, Robert Garcia, Mikey Garcia, Mexican American, they're saying the same thing. Stop brushing his loss under the rug. Who? Who's lost? What are you talking about? Saunders beats Jacobs? I gotta see that. Because Jacobs ain't no Lemieux. He ain't no one-trick pony like that. You know what I'm saying? Mikey Coleman. You're telling me a two-time... I'm about to burn you the fuck up. See, we got another hot seat, people. They always want to step up. Like I said, everybody want to argue until it comes time to argue. He says, you're telling me a two-time Olympic gold medalist, highly skilled, fast-paced, good footwork challenger fighter like Lomachenko at 130 would be written off just like that against Floyd at 130. That's bogus. Okay, Mikey about to get flamed up. So you explain how fancy footwork and 2 gold medals, right? You explain how Lomachenko would beat Floyd Mayweather at 130. Give me the vantage points, right? Tell me Mikey Coleman, Life with Mikey. And see, this is the thing. Y'all making up shit I never even said. I never said he would be written off. I never said it would be a one-sided beatdown on Floyd's behalf where he don't win no round. I didn't say nothing like that. I said I don't think he would beat Floyd. That's what I said. I never said he'd be written off and he can't win a round. So anyway, come on, Mikey. Since it's bullshit, you tell us. Everybody just put your L's in your pocket because they will be coming out. His name is Mikey Coleman in the hot seat. You're brushing him under the rug, bro. Okay, once again, where I'm from, we call this stalling. Okay, you've already admitted that. I'm brushing him under the rug, and it's bullshit. So you explain it. All you have to do is explain it. We already get it. I'm brushing him under the rug. So explain how Lomachenko would win. Don't act like it wouldn't be highly anticipated. Once again, stalling. I never said it wouldn't be highly anticipated. Where are you getting this? But once again, since I'm brushing on the rug, you explain it. You know you done fucked up. You see the stall tactics. State your case, bro. See, the fans want you to step up. I get it. I'm brushing him on the rug. It's highly anticipated. Now state your case. It's simple. What advantages is Lomachenko gonna beat Floyd at 130? See, this is how you know. Oh, you're staying. I'm not staying anything, but whatever. You're staying. He had no chance, and trying to back it up with other people's opinion. When did I say that? When did I say any of that? Okay, listen. The rules of the game are very simple. Fuck what I'm saying. Tell us what you are saying and prove why you believe that Lomachenko would beat him. I didn't say it was bullshit. I'm saying don't act like it wouldn't be highly anticipated. I never once said nobody would watch it or it wouldn't be highly anticipating. Once again, where I'm from, this is called stalling because you're not telling me anything to substantiate your first comment. You said it was like, oh, that's ridiculous. Okay, once again, now we're getting somewhere. I didn't say he would win. So what are you arguing for? What is your argument? You said it's bullshit that I'm using other people's opinion, even though I've already given my opinion, right? And you say I'm substantiating my claims with other people's opinion, but then now you're copping a plea like they all do and say, hey, I'm not saying Lomachenko would win. Hey, but this would be highly anticipated. I have never once said it wouldn't be highly anticipated. So once again, what are you arguing? What is your argument? Let me if y'all want me to zip him, cause someone said he got nothing. Yeah, if y'all want me to zip him and just put him out of his misery, stall him out, ego. That's funny. Let me just put him out as, if y'all want me to put him out of his misery, just say zip him. That's all you gotta say. Zip him up. Zip. I'll just zip him up. Now listen, once again, your initial statement was something to the effect of Lomachenko has, basically he's right up in there. He has great footwork. He's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. So you were like really riding that. Sounded like you were riding like that he would beat Floyd. But guess what? A guy who lost his pro debut by knockout, Orlando Salido, beat Lomachenko. Factual. Orlando Salido turned pro in Mexico, fighting random people in Mexico, and got knocked out his pro fight. Then got knocked out a few fights later, and that guy with limited experience. So you bringing up all this Olympic experience, we all know Floyd got robbed in the Olympics. You bringing up all of Lomachenko's Olympic experience, realistically, what does that matter? Because a guy who had none of that Olympic experience, unlike Floyd, who does have Olympic experience, a guy like Salido beat him. So what are you really saying? What do you mean? You mean to tell me a 2-time Olympic gold medalist with the footwork, blah, blah. Yeah, guess what? A guy with slow footwork who got knocked out in his pro debut and no Olympic pedigree, right? He beat Salido. Salido beat Lomachenko. Everybody, let's vote. If he had nothing for me in the hot seat, put your L's up. If you put a W, I know you're lying, so you'll probably get blocked. But put your L's up. Yoga Flame. Yo, one of my mods, get him out of here. What's his name? Something Coleman? Oh, there he is. I see him. Then why are you bringing... Listen. Then why are you bringing other people's opinion into it? Because their opinion coincides with my opinion in a lot of ways. Why? Who cares if I'm bringing up... They're agreeing with me. What does me bringing up someone else's opinion who's agreeing with me have anything to do with it? I'm asking you, who's agreeing with Dan Rayfield? Get the fuck out. Someone said it was a draw. You in the hot seat next. But listen, who's agreeing with Dan Rayfield's opinion? That's my last question to you, even though I bodied you. Who's agreeing with Dan Rayfield's opinion? Name one fighter I could get to where they said Pretty Boy Floyd would receive hell, arguably get beat. No. Don't say me because no one knows you. You don't even have a default picture. I'm talking about professional fighters or trainers. All right, moderator, get Mickey Coleman out, and we got another one. We got another grave. All right, his name is PTAH Ray La. He said it was a draw. So name his argument that made it a draw. You got one response, because I know you full of shit. $15. 10. This is how we gonna run through you boys. Pause. 8. Yo, did any of my moderators get Mickey Coleman out of here? God, I never seen it. 5. I got Mickey out of here. 3. See, I tell y'all. He put LOL. That's how you know you lost. Blocked. He said it was a draw. And I said, how is it a draw? He said LOL. So PTAH, he know he was lying. That wasn't no damn draw. I caught me another body. And because you wanted to vouch for him and couldn't explain it, I caught me 2 bodies. So back-to-back bodies. And see, this is the stupid thing. He's like, the guy got mad. He got mad talking about, why are you bringing up other people's opinion? Because they're saying the same thing I'm saying. That's why I'm bringing it up. But once again, who's repeating what ESPN is saying and saying, hey, I agree with that. Dude, just stop comparing this guy with 11 fights to Floyd. That's hype trade bullshit that ruins boxing. It's right up there with milking belts, which Jeff Horn is doing. Yeah, man. Listen, this is all I'm saying. Like, everybody wants to be fanboys and stuff like that. You can have your favorite fighter, buy t-shirts, but at least on my live streams, you got to be realistic. Got to be realistic what you're saying. No one's saying Lomachenko's bad. I've never once said that. I never said that he was garbage. I don't understand why people's feelings are so hurt and things like that. I never said any of that, but I call it how I see. Just like this Jeff Horn shit, it does not look like Jeff Horn is trying to fight Terence Crawford. One day he can't sell, and he's not. If fighters are talking about he ain't selling and all that, man, that's the oldest trick in the book. Bro, I sent you a super chat with a message and you didn't respond. Was I in the middle of a hot seat? Because if I was in the middle of a hot seat, I didn't see. Anyway, just write your question again, and I'll go over it. Because I seen I'm telling you, if I'm in a hot seat, you guys shouldn't send super chats because I probably will overlook it. So just write your question again. CB, write your question again. Hurry up so I can answer it. I didn't get the. Yeah, he just told me. CB just told me I didn't get to his hot seat. I'm telling you guys, if I'm doing a hot, listen, the hot seat is that serious. It's do or die. It's gladiator shit. We gladiators out here. So I wouldn't. You guys can know when someone's doing this hot seat. And if that's not the best time to do the super chat, because I'm looking for the person's response, and I get tunnel vision. CB, put your super chat question. Otherwise, we're going to just continue with the stream. I like Crawford, but why everyone looking over Spence still? He's number 1 to me. Am I wrong? Ego. I mean, stuff like that is debatable. So it's like, I mean, I'm not really seeing that. So I don't know. I have a pretty healthy sized fan base on multiple social platforms, and I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing what you see. So I can't really say who's overlooking Crawford because, like I said, here's an example. 70-something thousand. I posted about it. Got 1,500 looks, and it says arrow's too big for him. Spence, man down, Spence. So again, I got Crawford. I see Spence winning that. You know what I mean? These are Crawford. So, like, it looks like a 50-50 fight from what I'm seeing. Not everyone was picking Crawford, not everyone was picking Spence. So, Spence all day, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people rocking with Spence. So, I don't know who you're referring to. Look, Spence beats him. I got Crawford. So, you know what I mean? In my opinion, I don't know. I don't know what you're seeing or what forums you're in. Shout out to Egypt. But like I said, I posted this a week ago, and it was a mixed bag. Some people had Spence, some people had Crawford. That's why we want to see it. Either way, that's crazy that people... This man ain't even really made it to the division officially. We know he's coming. And he's on the opposite side of the fence with Top Rank. And this looks like it could be more likely than Keith Thurman. Thurman talking about 2019 and shit. And he's been a welterweight. And he's been a champion longer than Errol Spence. That's the real issue to me. Is why would a guy who's new to welterweight across the side with the pawn, him and Spence seem more gung-ho to fight each other than the guy who's been a welterweight and Keith Thurman. Actually, Keith Thurman don't seem like he want to fight either one of them. He was like, oh, Spence, oh yeah, a lot of people want to see it, but he has to do more. Then he becomes a champion, he does more, and then something else. And then he said Crawford's irrelevant. What? So it's like, whatever. Shout out to Spence and Crawford. They at least look like they're down to. Yeah, and Keith Thurman said he wants to fight Porter. So you'd rather fight Porter, a guy you beat, than fight one of these other guys you haven't beat. And one of them has a title and one might get a title if he fights Jeff Horn. Funny how that works. Sean Porter has he has like a WBC silver, but he has no major title. And that's who Keith Thurman is talking about rematching and showing the most interest. But you better not duck me, Thun, and I got an O and I'm not afraid to let it go. Yo, make sure you guys smash the like button. I'm about to get out of here. I got some stuff to do today. I got some calls to make. Is anyone else not getting notifications for live? I don't know. It sounds like a mixed bag. YouTube been tripping. I give credit to Jesse Vargas for calling out Spence and Thurman, but I see that being real difficult fights for him, especially Spence, stylistically. I mean, he just beat a guy that I think Brandon Rios or somebody beat. Yeah, YouTube's been tripping with the notifications. Yeah, I might do another stream later, so make sure you smash the like button. We'll see what the engagement is. We'll talk more about this boxing stuff. I would pick Spence over Jesse Vargas. Keep doing it, Ego. Like the work. Appreciate it. Shout out to everybody.